Good evening and welcome to v8's online coverage of the Simstruments Truck Series, brought to you by Simstruments and the v8's online superstore, coming soon, as they say in iRacing. I'm your host, Mike Korolev, back from a week's sabbatical, and in the commentary box next to me I have Anthony Kernich as usual. Good evening, Anthony.
Good evening.
Well, here we are, race 4 of the season. We are heading to the quarter point, and we're at Bristol Motor Speedway, world's fastest quarter mile oval. And Anthony, we've had a fantastic season so far. Texas, good racing, great to see. We go to Phoenix, and Phoenix we actually had a green flag race, which was fantastic. We didn't think that was going to occur. And then we go to Miami, and to Homestead, Miami, that's right, and another green flag race. How do you think our chances are going to go tonight for an all-green track?
Yeah, I don't think it's very likely tonight. This track's very small, very narrow, and there's nowhere to go if there's trouble. And the ideal line is right up against the wall, so it's a recipe for disaster. But anything can happen, but I wouldn't expect any long runs tonight.
No money back specials on sports bet on a green flag race, you think?
No, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not too hopeful of a green flag race, but nevertheless, that's going to spice things up. So, Bristol, tell us about it.
Yeah, Bristol, it's a half mile around. It's actually a little bit over half a mile, but close enough. It's 30 to 34 degrees of banking in the corners. It's very narrow, very short straightaways, and we're running under the lights, so it's a pretty high grip too. So there's trucks will be flying around, so it's always a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, totally agree. All right, let's have a look at the championship standings so far after 3 races. We have Francis Dunnett sitting on 508 points. Close behind is Jason Martin, just 74 points behind. And I know Francis was our winner at Texas with a bit of a lucky win. Great pass there just before the yellow came out. And then again at Miami, but he's not racing tonight. So that's going to give Jason Martin a chance, and really the rest of the field a chance to grab some points back and close that gap. Third place we have Nathan Britton. Rob Hartley sitting in 4th place. That's a bit of a surprise. Luke Betts, nothing unusual there. Ian Ford, Alistair Topley, Tony Autridge, Wayne Anderson, and Michael Schreier. So that's our top 10 as we come into the Bristol Motor Speedway race. And what do you think? With Francis away, how does that open the field up for the rest of the drivers?
Yeah, it'll obviously give Martin a chance to pick up some points. At Rob Lee, if he decides to run, and a chance to pick up some points. But we're a long way from drop weeks, so it probably is not going to affect things on the long run. But I mean, it could come the end of the season.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Jason's qualified pretty well tonight too, hasn't he? About a 15-1, something like that. So he's definitely going to be quick and a hard man to beat, that's for sure. But then again, Bristol always throws something very different at us in the racing, doesn't it? It's not just about being fast and up front. Sometimes with those back markers, you can get yourself caught out, and a bit of luck involved in getting the race done.
Yeah, there's trouble wherever you go. There's no givens around here. You can be wrecked with a 10-second lead. This track's always trouble.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be a fantastic race. Probably pretty incident packed, and so we're definitely going to be kept on our toes here in the commentary box, that's for sure. Now, racing under lights, you said, gives us a little bit of extra grip to the track, correct?
Yeah, it's usually about 4/10 faster than daytime, which is quite a bit. And depending on what conditions iRacing have set up for us with the weather, it certainly should make for pretty fast racing. I believe the pole time's in the 15.1, 15.2 region, so we're flying around this little track.
Yeah, it's certainly everything happens so fast there too, and you really, with that banking, you don't get good vision out of the top left corner of the windscreen. So for sure, it's hard to really see anything happening up ahead.
Yeah.
So,
and we're going so quick around here that you can't even tell where you are on the track sometimes, even under caution. So it's a It's a bull ring. That's what they call it. It's a Roman Colosseum of racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that little bit of, well, that element of luck that you really need to get a good result here, how do you think we'll go? Any chance of the guys up the back snagging a good result?
Yeah, if you avoid the trouble that will inevitably take place and half the field gets wrecked, yeah, you can come through even if you're not the fastest guy on the day.
Any smart money for hanging back just a little bit, letting the accidents happen, trying to avoid them, and then maybe grabbing some points?
Yeah, you don't want to be too far back because obviously with the laps going by pretty quick, it's easy to go a lap down if it stays green.
What about pit entry now? This is one of those really tough tracks to know where you are on the circuit. If cars have got to get in, does it cause any problems? You see guys perhaps tonight not making the pit entry?
Yeah, this is one of the very few tracks on iRacing with 2 pit roads, and obviously these guys won't be pitting under green, but if under yellow, some guys do go down the wrong pit lane if they're not completely on their toes and knowing exactly where they are at all times.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? You know, one of the only markers I've ever found driving around there is using the start-finish line to know which side of the track you're actually on. So, yeah, let's keep an eye out for that tonight. We'll see if anyone makes that unfortunate mistake. All right, well, we should be seeing some live pictures now of the warm-up.
So I believe Jason Martin hasn't joined the race, so he obviously has decided that he doesn't want to give this one a go and decided to skip this week, and this gives a chance for some of the other guys to come up and steal some points.
Yeah, that's interesting. Certainly, I see Rob Lee will be our pole man with a 15.261. Jason Grattan, he'll be sitting right beside him on the outside of row 1. Derek Stone and Tim Jackson, they'll sit on row 2. Zach Kreitz, Simon Walker, row 3. Nathan Britton and Matthew Barron. Any love lost there between those two?
No, it's you can't really settle differences around here. You just got to race everyone, and there's no easy racing anyone easy around here. Yeah,
that's for sure. Now, it's good to see Rob Hartley out there, although I'm a little bit surprised that he has showed up tonight. I know that Direct Quote Motorsport's one of their prerequisites for joining their team is that you don't race too often, so this must be what... You think this will be his one and only outing between now and Christmas, or you reckon he might be keen for one more?
Yeah, if he wants to race, he can race as often as he likes, in my view. But obviously, if some people think that you don't have to race that often, it's up to them. But yeah, I think he'll turn up for another one.
No, Rob's a good sport. He enjoys his racing and he does pretty well. So we've got we had row 4 there with Nathan Britton and Matthew Barron. Row 5, Sam Compton, Jason Hardman. Jason's another one of those runners that will just plug away at it, and he's always there at the end. Luke Bates, Jason Scandalera filling out the next row with Marlon McMullen, Michael Schreier, Rob Hartley, Ian Ford, and Dean O'Brien. So we're just waiting for the cars to move away now. Rob Lee's going to lead us out.
This track's very short, and we've got 2 pace laps here, so plenty of time for the guys to get sorted out and get gridded up in the correct order.
A little bit of banter there between the drivers. I think there's a little bit of niggle from the last race.
Yeah, this track's always drama. So any small goings on do tend to drag through a bit like super speedways.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's what we need too. It's always good to have a few different characters in the telecast, and certainly we've got Nathan in there. He's not ever going to leave you wondering what he thinks. But then again, we've also got guys like Rob Lee who just get out of there and do the business, and you never hear much from him until the end of the race, and usually he's up the front end.
So obviously this start's going to be very interesting with 20 odd degrees of banking on the straights. it's easy to spin the tyres and come across the track. So got to watch for that. It's one of the hardest tracks to start because we've also got the shortest gear we use all season. So that's obviously an issue too for these guys to deal with, especially for people not familiar with this style of racing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting too. We've got Jason Grattan there. He's from Plains, so he's made it into our service. So pace car's off and Rob Lee leads them away. Jumps into the lead, rolls it into turn one with Jason in there second. And Derek Stone moves underneath him for a pass. And can he get it done? And it looks like he might. He'll slot in behind Rob Lee as we roll in and finish
up. Pass on the bottom there. The preferred line around this track is on the high side, and so make a pass on the bottom is very good effort indeed. And Jason Scandalora has already gone a lap down. He started from pit road oddly, and that's obviously going to hurt him if the yellow doesn't fly quickly.
Yeah, I think he's banking on the fact that he just wants to pick up places towards the end of the race, stay out of trouble early. And
let's go down. Nathan Britton, Simon Walker racing down for 6th, 7th, 8th position with Sam Compton. Sam Compton, very tight there. One of the things about this track is you've got to watch guys charging on the outside. They get such a huge run off the corners. If you're on the low side, you can easily run into them if you come up.
Certainly can. I think that might have caught Simon a little bit off guard with Sam doing a fantastic maneuver to run it up high, get around the top with the run that he had, and he's certainly in charge. He's right on the back of Nathan Britton now.
And with this high side getting this massive run off the corners, it's almost impossible to pass on the bottom unless you've got help. As Derek Stone's taken the lead from Rob Lee, with obviously Rob's let him through there. You don't pass that easily on the bottom. Especially Rob Lee's not going to give up position unless he knows the guy behind him is considerably quicker. Rob is struggling a bit. He's got a few guys behind him giving him a hard time. So with Rob Lee, you can see how close the quarters are on this track. There's very little space to manoeuvre. Guys are very close together. And the walls are very close too.
Well, Stone ran high there too, right up on the wall.
Yeah, that's the ideal line here. There's more banking on that part of the track, and the exit's much more open up there. It's Tim Jackson's looking to make it 3 wide with Jason Grattan, Derek Stone. Is Rob's taken the lead back, I believe?
Yeah, he dropped underneath him. Yes, he certainly has.
So Zach Kreitz is now looking to make a run.
Derek Stone seems to be dropping back.
Yes, he might have tagged the wall. I know Jason Grattan's in trouble too. He's lost 3 or 4 spots quickly. So if you get in that bottom, the guy's over the top.
Yeah, no, I think Jason Grattan still. I think that was Stone that dropped back. He might have run it up high, or he could be just settling back down, cooling his tyres. Ran him too hard early. Do you think?
I think Stone's behind Rob Lee. That is Jason Grattan, car 15. He's fallen back a few spots, and he's tagging the wall a little bit too. Britton behind him. Obviously, with people in front of you and behind you, it's very, very, very difficult to be consistent around here. It's really easy to make mistakes.
Britton's had a little look. Okay, as we ride with Nathan Britton on board now, sitting right behind Simon Walker.
So Dean O'Brien's had a bit of trouble too. He's slow on the backstretch pitting, so he's obviously tagged the wall. No, he's letting everyone through, so something's happened to him.
Rob Lee's moved out a little bit, and Tim Jackson looks like he's actually been a bit caught in the bottom here. Oh, he's been tagged. He's had a slide.
Been tagged, yeah. Very, very good save there.
He's lost himself 3 spots.
Yeah, he's going to lose 7 spots here as people train past him on this high side. See, when you start racing some of the higher-powered cars around here, the G6 in particular, this high side's such an advantage. It's practically impossible to pass on this track. It's a real nightmare to race big cars. Lots of big cars around this track.
Rob Lee looks like he's pulling out a little bit of a gap at the moment on Jason Grattan. You think he just got himself settled?
Yeah,
waited for the early laps just to settle the car in, get the tyres up to temperature without overheating him, and now he seems to be moving away.
Yeah, he's obviously got into a rhythm, and it's not not burning up his right front tyre, so he's obviously turning very well in the centre and can get these runs off the corners and build a lead quickly. These short tracks, it's very easy to build a lead because the corners come up very quickly, and it's being consistent is more important than draft.
So our leaders, as they stand now, with Rob Lee, Jason Grattan, Derek Stone, Tim Jackson and Zach Brights, being followed by Simon Walker and Nathan.
Oh, we got trouble down in turn 2. Tim Jackson's tagged Sam Compton, no caution. It's a major incident there.
It's dropping back a little bit too.
As we see it on the replay, Tim Jackson actually got a little bit loose in the middle of the turn and just tagged him in the left rear corner. Sent him hard into the wall. Sam Compton's probably going to be done after that. He's got major front end damage. So a typical Bristol there, it's at close quarters, nowhere to go, make mistakes.
Oh, he's tagged the wall again too, Sam Crompton. I'd say he's definitely struggling now.
He's still holding his own up at 7. I mean, he might not have too much damage if he hasn't knocked his knocked his toe out. He can actually keep up here. I won a race here once for 4.5 minutes of damage, so damage doesn't hinder you as much as some of the bigger tracks.
I'll tell you what, I've just been watching him, and he's scraped the wall about 3 or 4 times now in the last 3 laps. So I don't know. I think he might be struggling, or possibly trying just too hard to catch it all back up.
Yeah, with damage, obviously, it's you've got to find how much the car turns or doesn't turn, and what you have to do to compensate. We've got quite a battle here for 10th on back with Jason Hardman, Michael Schreier, Luke Betts in on it too, so almost 3 wide in places. So on lap 26, I'm surprised we haven't seen a caution yet.
I was just going to say that actually. We're rolling into lap 27 now of 55, and it's all green flag racing. Gee, maybe we're quite rocky. Maybe we will make it through with the green flag racing.
Yes, and obviously the laps are going by incredibly quickly. We're lapping at 16.4, 16.5 at the moment, so it's not many minutes in the race if it does tend to stay green.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't take too long, does it? Rob Hartley being challenged by Marlon. Is it Marlon McMullen there? Trying to get underneath him.
At least they're a lap down. I don't know what they're doing, racing each other. Obviously, you can.
Oh, robbing the wall.
It's not good etiquette to race when you're a lap down. So
yeah,
Nathan Britton's dive bombing Jason Grattan right there. We'll see if these two can fight it out. Oh, what's Rob Hartley's? Oh, 3 wide. This is not going to work.
Rob Hartley's on the
that's could have been terribly messy right there. But good job not causing
big slides it out of the corner too. Oh,
it's not. See, these lap cars might have fresh tyres for a reason, but it doesn't look like they have. So, it's got 3 wide with Luke Betts off turn 2. It's still on there for 10th. This is probably where the caution is going to come if it does come.
Schreier's still stuck in the bottom there, and Luke Betts makes the pass, gets around the outside of him. But certainly a great battle here between himself and the 2 cars in the front.
As Britton's in the wall in turn 2, lost the spot to Simon Walker. So if you get stuck in the wall here, you get this phenomenon called wall glue, and you can't get off. As they got trouble on the front stretch, Tim Jackson, big mess. Caution is out. Oh, and it's still wrecking. Pace car is out. So Sam Compton's stopped on bottom of the track. As Rob Hartley, who's a lap down, has tagged the wall in front of Sam Compton, who's then tagged Tim Jackson and Ian Ford at the same time. So obviously those three are going to be out of the race, and that's not smart etiquette from Rob there. It's see, let's go quickly. Yes, as the whole field is now pitting. So Rob Lee's missed his pit stall. Yeah, that's going to cost him. Nathan Britton's taken 2 tyres, I believe. So drama on pit road here. It's all suddenly. No, Nathan Britton missed his pit stall. You know, what's going on? It's all happening.
Wow, that's going to cost him very hard.
It's Derek Stone's first on pit road. Everyone should have taken 4 tyres there. It's we've run enough. Yeah, Zach Kreitz might have spent on pit road. He's dropping back and giving up a few spots. As Nathan Britton's re-pitted, so obviously he's decided that
missed his stall.
To be smart and not stay out on old tyres. So good etiquette there. It's frustrating for him though to miss your stall and have to re-pit and drop to the back. But obviously with these damaged cars, he'll shouldn't lose too many spots.
Alright, so we're under caution. Not too bad though, 30 odd laps under green. That's a pretty good run from the boys tonight.
Yeah, and it went by pretty quick too, so shows how quickly the laps do go by at this place if it stays green. So you haven't got time to make moves.
So Marlon McMullen stays out, gets a lap back, and if we run down our leaderboard at the moment, we see Derek Stone is ahead of Rob Lee. We've got Jason Grattan, Simon Walker, Matthew Barron, Jason Hardman, Michael Schreier coming up the field, Luke Betts sitting there in 8th, Nathan Britton, Zach Kreitz, Marlon in 11th, Rob Hartley still sitting in 12th, shown in 12th at the moment, Ian Ford, Tim Jackson, Jason Scandalero, Sam Compton, and Dean O'Brien.
So obviously with all 3 of those trucks that were involved in the trouble have been in and out of the pits and fallen a lap down with the meatball flag, which was an obvious thing from the amount of damage that they had. And they're going to be well out of contention, so they're just going to pound around and hope for carnage in front of them.
So Marlon's got the wave by, he'll come round, join onto the tail of the field. We still have 11 cars on the lead lap, including Marlon. It's not too bad for this stage of this sort of a race, that's for sure. 40 of 55 laps down. We
15 laps left at the restart, so not a lot of time to do much if you're buried in the field, but obviously a lot of time for further carnage to take place. So Derek Stone's holding, and he's gone.
He's gone. There he goes.
Restart.
Yep, got the jump, did well. Leads him into turn 1 with Rob Lee behind. Simon Walker follows them in.
There's Simon Walker. Touch
he's on the
between
wall.
Grattan and Simon Walker. Grattan's come back up onto the track. So shouldn't cause too much trouble.
He gave the outside wall a good brush there too.
Yeah, might hurt. So someone's loose on the backstretch.
Yeah, Matthew Barron, he's kept it down and held it together. But he's lost a whole host of places where he's streaming past him.
Yeah, he's going to be annoyed with that one. As Hardman's blocking Schreier, I don't know what he was trying to achieve there.
Grattan's at the wall again.
As Britton's come up through the field on this restart, obviously he's avoided that trouble nicely. He's managed to gain back the spots he lost through missing his pit stall the first time around.
He's got fresh tyres, but gee, I don't know. Do you think he can catch the lead too?
Nah, he's too far behind. The lap times will start to level off shortly, and there's only 10 laps left, so yeah, not a lot of time for him to catch the 2 leaders. But he might be able to grab third from Walker if Walker has any further incidents.
Gave the wall a brush too there up on the front stretch. Don't know, he doesn't seem to be really making an indent. He's going to run
moved
up
to the high
high.
side of Walker here. He might be able to get a run off this turn. He's hit the wall hard there. That's probably going to hurt him. Might give him a 2x car contact, and that might kill his chances of gaining a further spot. But we'll see.
Yeah, well, look, the back of the car doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's only got a little bit of grease damage on the right side and up on the roof. So he's probably, unless he's knocked his toe out, he's probably still got a pretty straight car.
I've got trouble off turn 2. Big. Oh, and still no yellow. Matthew Barron, yep, caution's out. Zach Kreitz and Barron got together on the backstretch.
Okay, so caution's out with 7 laps to go. That's going to give us three green laps.
It's going to be fast and frenetic to the end. Might actually be 2, so we are going to get another restart. So
do you risk it? Do you take tyres?
Ooh, that's a big call. I think the guys at the front probably won't, because they don't want to be buried back in the field. It's we got a replay of that caution coming up. Yes, Zach Kreitz has just pushed up the track and hit Barron in the left rear corner, and Barron almost saved it, and then Hardman came along and finished him off. Barron's just kept his foot in it, right in the wall.
Wow. Any
big damage from him. That's quite a few cars in that. That's taken out back half of the lead lap cars, and pit road's open, and I don't believe.
Wow. Yeah, look, he's probably got Jay Kennedy in there spotting for him. I'd imagine Jay would have just told him to keep his foot in it. He's one of those aggressive drivers like that too, so he's probably just responded and kept going, and it hasn't worked out for him.
He is pitting. Pit road's open, and the leaders did not hit. Obviously, there's no point pitting with this few laps left. We're probably going to have a one lap run, 4 laps to go, and yeah, we'll see. We probably will go back green. So
yeah,
it's going to be a rather frantic dash to fake. Actually, one person that caution did work out for was Marlon. Could have hit it there and taken some tyres and tried to gain an advantage with some fresh tyres. Obviously, he hasn't done that, but that's a little tip for the non-over regulars. If you do get a wave around and caution comes out, you pit straight away. It's always even if you're at the back of the lead lap, it's an advantage to have tyres. And so I believe we're gritting up.
Yeah, looks like we're getting ready. I think we should have 1 to go.
Yeah, the lights are still on the pace car, so I believe we're on 2 to green. So yes, it's going to probably be a 1 lap, 15-second dash to the flag here at Bristol.
That's going to be pretty darn exciting. Because you know Nathan Britton's he's going to give it a red hot go. Simon Walker's right up there ready to do it as well. Michael Schrader's no slouch, and then you've got Zach Kreitz and Jason Grattan, and certainly from the early restarts they've always been absolute rockets.
The pace car's crossing the line here with 2 laps to go, and the lights are out on the pace car, so we are going to have a 1 lap shootout here at Bristol.
Alright, well, let's see how it all ends up, eh? I think it's going to be a red hot go from the second row.
I don't think the front 2 will be challenged if they don't make an error, but anything can happen. Stone could spin his tyres and cause trouble, or...
If you're Stone, where would you go?
As soon as the pace car goes in, you want to get as far ahead as you can, as quickly as you can.
It's got to be the jump, doesn't it?
Pretty much ensure yourself a win. Pace car's in. He's holding. No, he's gone.
He's gone. He's gone. He's got the jump. Walker and Britton side by side.
Behind it, fair way behind, but...
Oh, he takes a middle line too. Gets a little bit of
Nathan Britton!
Britton Walker.
Tagged Simon Walker. Huge trouble. As Stone takes him, still wrecking, huge trouble. Stone takes away from Rob Lee. So Zach Kreitz third. Yeah, that's big trouble on the last lap right there. So that's what we expected, given the situation.
For sure. So what happened then? Simon Walker stayed down low. Britton gave it a go and got loose. Tapped Simon Walker, and it all started from there.
Oh, it looks like Nathan Britton just might have got loose there, just trying to get on the throttle as early as he can, and yeah, he's
the luckiest natural. That's got to be Zach Kreitz. He's driven right through what happened in front of him.
Big mess behind him. It's obviously being the last lap, no one's lifted the throttle. No, the caution's not going to come out, and that's the end result. So Marlon's come through that too. He avoided that very nicely. Managed to steal fifth after being a lap down. It's
that's not a bad
very impressive effort.
Not a bad effort, is it? Let's go back and have a look at Marlon's point of view as he saw it unfold.
Yeah, he's just seen the cars wrecking above him and just going low, and thankfully everyone wrecked above him, and he almost managed to steal fourth from Shrey right at the end. So I'm sure that's a very exciting race for him.
Let's have a look at it from Simon Walker's view.
He's just he would have had no idea that would have happened to him. Absolutely no idea. That's just one of the things about racing at this track is
it's a lottery, isn't it? It's an absolute lottery. It's just where you are at the time, and if luck's with you, then away you go. Certainly for Zach Kreitz, that worked out, and Marlon. Marlon comes home fourth place. Fifth place.
So we're on board with Kreitz now. As he's just instinctively going low there, and got through that quite nicely. Yeah, it's just Bristol. That's just a Bristol incident right there. Hard racing. Obviously, Britton's tried to get on the throttle as early as he can to steal a spot, and just got on it a bit too early.
Wow, so we had a nice long grid run. Then we got ourselves a couple of yellow flags with a few drivers running into problems, running up against the walls. And then we've come up to this one-lap shootout for Derek Stone to take the win. Fantastic win, really. He was right up the front there with Rob Lee all the way through the race. And the two of them had a fantastic race behind them. It was certainly all happening. And Nathan Britton and Simon Walker obviously coming together on the last lap and causing somewhat amount of mayhem has let Zach Kreitz slide through and take third place from Michael Schreier. Marlon jumps himself up from being right down the back of the grid to fifth place by just basically staying out of trouble the whole race. Good stuff. Jason Grattan takes out sixth. Luke Betts takes seventh place. Jason Hardman eighth. Nathan Britton still got over the line for ninth, classified as ninth, and Simon Walker 10th. So there you have it. How's that for a race, Anthony from Bristol? What's your heart rate doing there?
Yeah, just fast and frenetic. That's what this track does produce. It's incidents and close racing. Is actually Rob Lee's going to be probably disappointed with that. He knew he threw that one away all by himself, but no, he'll be content with second, pick up a few points. This championship, obviously, he's a week behind everyone else, so got to look to get up there. And Marlon's going to be the one who's most happy with that. I know he's going to be laughing his head off right now, having got through that in fifth place.
Yeah, absolutely. So, interestingly enough, Nathan Britton taking 10th place. He's the only one in the top 10 that really moves forward. Luke Betts will get a few points, and Rob Hartley will get a couple of points there as well. So, with Francis not racing and Jason Martin not racing, that's going to close it up a little bit more at the front. Certainly put Nathan up in contention somewhere around Jason Martin, maybe even drop him up into second place. Yeah,
we're early in the championship yet. There's a lot of weeks to go. Drop weeks are still a month away, so the championship standings won't start to take shape until we get to week 9 at Las Vegas.
Well, I've got to say that with that absolute heart stopper over, next week we're going to head off to Charlotte Motor Speedway. What can we expect there, Anthony?
Yeah, that track's extremely fast. It was wide open in the truck. And we're racing at night too, so it's going to be fast and frenetic draft racing. And it's also a free track too, so people who don't own a lot of oval tracks can certainly race that one, not having to pay for that. So
should have a fantastic field there, which is going to be fantastic. I really look forward to Charlotte. I love racing, and it's one of those tracks that really you can have some great racing on. It's got a tricky turn 4 to come off of that little rise and drop away. If you don't get it right, you'll be kissing the wall pretty quick. So high speed stuff, all coming to you from the V8's online broadcast team at Charlotte Motor Speedway next week. Sunday night, what have we got lined up, Anthony?
I believe we're covering Proto GT from the world famous Silverstone. 45 minutes of multi-class racing.
Silverstone, age-old circuit, fantastic racing there always. With the new layout of the circuit that was changed, it's a long time now to take out the old Woodcote chicane and so forth. That should be one not to miss.
Yeah, tune in for that one. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed with 4GTs and HPDs around the fast sweeps of Silverstone.
So don't forget, viewers, that's Sunday night for the Proto GT race. Okay, V8's also Monday night, Phillip Island, that's right, they're on at Phillip Island. That's always going to be a well-populated race, and we'll see if anyone can break the TTL domination that seems to be happening at the moment in the championship. All right then, I hope you've enjoyed the telecast. We've certainly had a fantastic time. On behalf of Anthony Kernich and myself, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in to the V8's online Simstruments iRacing Truck Series. My name's Mike Korolev, and beside me Anthony Kernich, and we're signing off for the night. Thank you. See you next week.